Hey there, Empriss Bennett here, the Empress of Empowerment, and this is your Empower Minute. I just hopped off my meditation pillow. I'm looking kind of rough, but you know what? This message was on my heart to share, and I choose to share my message over vanity. Have you ever seen a parent of a toddler or small child see that child bump their head, or scrape their knee or something, and they, instead of actually rushing to like coddle them or soothe them, they actually let them sit there and cry? And just as an outside observer, if you're not a parent, sometimes that looks like it's cold or it's mean, but these parents have had so much interaction with their child that they kind of can gauge what their child is capable of overcoming on their own. So they're trying to give them that opportunity to learn. Well, I've been faced with some just kind of trials and circumstances lately that have been really testing me. And I'm crying out to God in this way of just like the way a toddler is, like, please pick me up, soothe me. I need you. I need you. I need you. And the crazy part is that when I look back over the trials that I'm facing, it's something that I've probably faced before. Very similar to other things that I faced and overcome. And I kind of draw this parallel of the two things to say that sometimes God doesn't step in because he knows what we are capable of. Sometimes he doesn't take over and come in and swoop in for the rescue because of what we are actually capable of. And then that is known. And we have to be reminded ourselves and trust in that. So there's a couple of things that have come up for me that have shifted my perspective, and that is allowing me to move forward, and I wanted to share today. So if you are being faced with something in your life, much like the parent with that toddler who, this child has bumped their head or scraped their knee, but the parent knows that they can overcome it. If God is not actually swooping in and soothing you or saving you, and, no immediate answers are coming, ask yourself, give yourself the opportunity to look within to see what you already have within that can help you overcome the situation. One question I want you to ask yourself is, what is the story that you're currently telling yourself about your situation? If you are being faced with a trial, have you faced something similar to this before? Like, what is the story that you're actually telling yourself? Number one. And number two, is it empowering you or is it disempowering you? And one way to know for sure is if it's actually disempowering you, you are caught in the fault part or the blame part or the victim part. Meaning it's somebody else's fault. You're blaming somebody else, even if you're blaming God, or if there's no one to blame, but it's not your fault. You're not taking responsibility for it. That's a disempowering situation. That's a disempowering story that you're telling yourself. If it's empowering, if you're in the empowering place, of course, you're not in the place of suffering, because you've begun to see that even if it's not your fault, it is your responsibility. And if your story is empowering you, not only have you taken responsibility to change the circumstances, to do what you can do, you're also going to be met with possibilities that you may have not seen before, possibilities that you can't actually get when you're actually caught in the blame and the victim and the fault mode. So shift your perspective. If you are being faced with something, how can you take responsibility even if it's not your fault? How can you take the responsibility to change the story that you're telling yourself? Empriss Bennett here, the Empress of Empowerment. I hope this message touches somebody's heart today. It certainly has shifted my perspective, and I am free to move forward. Have a great one.